welcome to the channel. In today's episode we're covering Black Desert Online and how it runs on a budget system. My system specs are a Core i5-2310 turbo to 3.3 GHz at load. This processor is a 4-core processor that uses the LGA 1155 socket, as well as an RX 460 4GB from XFX overclocked out of the box to 1220 MHz on the core and 1750 MHz in the memory, as well as 16 GB of DDR3 Crucial Ballistics RAM at 1600 MHz a stick with 4 sticks total. Now I actually got lucky and scored my processor, motherboard, and RAM from a friend who recently upgraded his system for a mere $110 US, but you can find all of these pretty cheap online, and some may still be available at your local techie store of choice. Other noteworthy nuances for this video is that this game footage is recorded at 1366 by 768 resolution, as well as it is captured using AMD's new Relive software, which is upraising the recording to 1080p. This game is also running more or less on the high preset with some minor features turned off, like player's ability particles, improved distance, etc. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would you choose that resolution? Well, one, it's because reasons. No, but really, it's because being a budget build, that's the limitation of my monitor, actually. And I've seen a lot of videos online where they're running the RX 460 at 1080p, and while it handles very capably, I just feel like for me personally, I like it at 1366 by 768 because it allows me to push the graphics a little bit higher. Alright, so let's talk thermals. The GPU and CPU both tend to idle in the mid to high 50 centigrade, while the fan speed is set to match the temperature of the GPU. And the GPU usually only gets into the low to mid 60s with no fan curve. One side note with the RX 460 as well is that, in my experience, it has not been a good overclocking card, likely to the fact that it already has a pretty hefty factory overclock. And lastly, you're probably wondering what the FPS average is. Well, that's the part that's going to be the most subjective. You'll see the frames per second average in the mid 50s and drop into the mid 40s in the more open, less cluttered areas. But, and this is a big but, you're going to see a massive performance hit in the more populated areas, such as big cities. It's going to drop into the low 30s and into the mid 20s. So should you play Black Desert Online on a budget system? I think so. It runs really well, and if you can deal with the frame drops in the more populated areas, you're in for a really solid gameplay experience, and I can really highly recommend it. It's a great game overall. Anyways, you guys know the drill. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, at least you're honest, and I'll catch you in the next video.